Last night I was sitting in the living room on the couch in the dark while my son was asleep, and I was trying to be consistent with putting these videos out, be consistent with my journaling, be consistent with just my creating in general, and being consistent with, doing productive things with my free time now. Now that I have a son, it's kind of hard to get things done, especially when I want to and when I have that energy to want to try to get things done. So I had this energy that, I wanted to work on something, a video, write a poem, just do something, but nothing was coming to me. Like, my mind was just blank. And it wasn't like it was blank the whole time, because at first it was like, sorry, my son wants me to keep on squeaking this toy. But at first it was just like, there was so much on my mind and so much that I wanted to do that I couldn't focus on one thing. And it was like I was overthinking so much that it was like, I don't know, adding too much color or paint on a canvas that now everything is just a muddy mess, and then everything just went blank. Like, there's no type of focus or nothing, like no idea to stand and, I don't know, to stand on, pinpoint on, or to draw from, create from. I don't know. I was just in a phase of just sitting there like, okay, what do I do? And then I was watching a video, and it kind of made me realize, and I can't remember exactly what the video was. I think it was an oracle card reading, but I'm not exactly sure. But it just made me think about how I don't always need to be doing something creatively, or I don't always need to be recording a video to be consistent. I don't always need to be writing something to be consistent. I don't always need to be creating something to be consistent. Sometimes it's like sometimes things like that happen because you need that moment of stillness to sit there and like really think about something, or really reflect on something, or like something that you're maybe running from or trying to distract yourself from. So I realized that might be the case. I might be trying to distract myself from something, run from something, and keep like creating these light type of pieces of work, artwork, whatever, and not really honing in on the deep stuff that I have within me. And I do pay attention to those things, but it's like I hesitate on sharing those things, or I say like, I'm gonna save that for a book I'm writing, or I'm gonna save that for this time and whatever. And I still feel like that there are still some things that I'm working on that I am gonna share at a specific time, or that I am working on for a specific project. But it doesn't always have to be like that. And everything can be made into content, but everything doesn't need to be made into content, or doesn't necessarily have to be made into content. So me taking that moment, trying to record, I did get a video out of it. It's all over the place. I'm gonna still put it out. But I feel like in that moment I was like, I wouldn't say wasting the time, because I was still doing something with it, but I don't feel like I was doing what I was supposed to be doing with that time. I feel like with that time I was supposed to be really sitting there, like reflecting on whatever issue it is, or whatever is getting me to overthink, or I don't know. I just needed to sit there and think and reflect, and not just be trying to act and do in that moment. And now I am acting and doing, but I'm still taking this time to understand, there's something that I need to really take the time and take a moment to reflect on and figure out, find the root cause of whatever this brewing situation is, which I feel like I have an idea for the most part, but again, it comes with taking that time to really think. And that's something that I haven't been doing, because for one, I've been overthinking, and to the point where it draws me out of thinking because my mind goes blank. And then I've been trying to distract myself by trying to keep myself busy with doing things like recording a video or whatever. So, oh yeah, I was about to say this is the end of the video, but no, it's not. I'm gonna read what I was writing about with this whole topic that I'm talking about right now. I'm sitting in the living room while my son sits in his stroller watching Bluey. I take a moment while my mind goes strolling down a timeline of memories, insecurities, guilt, and guilty pleasures before going blank, loading. loading another algorithm of inconsistent thoughts, feeling blue, being overwhelmed, but not sure how light or dark, as it all fades eventually, like the ink in my pen that just went out. I haven't written with a pencil in a while. Pencil smears the page's message, and it also fades. Erase, but never completely the same as before. You can see remnants of something, written, and sometimes even make out exactly what it was. The past is always there to taunt you or remind you of the things you try to erase. Overthinking so much that I can't think straight. My mind goes blank, like losing ink from my pen. Scribbling lines and doodles, scratching through the page, bleeding through the page. Losing sleep, can't eat, losing strength, losing sanity, then losing all feelings. Blank. Mind blank, blank stare, blank space. Until my mind creates a vision of me pacing back and forth with my racing thoughts, trying to keep up with each other, just to get away from each other. Which one could win me over? Which one could finish me first? Which one could never stand a chance? Which one would just be a distraction to keep everything off track, keeping me sitting on the couch, overthinking? That, both parts of those, was one of those journaling entries where I feel like it was a poem in itself as well, but I actually want to go in and fix it up, add some things, take away some things to make it an actual poem. But it's definitely a poem as it is right now, but I just want to make it better. I want to write it as a poem and not just as a journal entry. But yeah, just me reading that, I loved how that sound. And I know I had been recently talking about how when I'm reading poems, I don't like how I sound because I don't know, I'm throwed off something about it, the way I sound. But this time when I was reading it, I was like, yeah, this is something. This is something I can work with. This is something I'm going to work with. So I'm going to write a poem from this journaling session, and I guess it'll be a part 2 because, like I said, I feel like this is already basically a poem as it is, but I'm going to actually take the time to write a poem specifically. And y'all probably couldn't hear all of it because I'm at the park. There's a lot of kids out now. My kid as well, who's right here making a lot of noise right now. But yeah, it was a good journaling session and a good journal reading.